What is a randomly strong opinion you have, and what's the story? Municipalities need to make a better effort to recycle and use land that has already been developed instead of constantly seeking to develop new land. Just now there's this big controversy about Amazon looking to build on wetlands, and the area where they're looking to build is filled with industrial complexes that are currently vacant. I don't like the term edgy. I used to be called edgy constantly because I liked anime and martial arts and dark colors. Outside of my group of friends, people would see me with my scene or emo hair and my fun outfits or makeup. Thing is, people mistake wanting to do something because it makes you feel good with wanting attention or being needy. So when you dress a certain way, act a certain way, they immediately think you just want attention. This can be the case, and for some it definitely is, but in my experience those are outliers. I dress how I do because I enjoy it. I dress up even if I'm not going out that day. It makes me happy. How is that edgy? It's not the only time these words should be applied, or when someone is being overtly obvious about trying to get attention. If someone is just hanging with friends and acting differently than your standard baseline and it attracts your attention, that's on you, not the person just hanging out with friends. Also, thinking deeply, even if you're still only dipping your toes and shouldn't be made fun of, it's part of a journey of self-realization. Fuck haters, specifically my exes that would constantly harass me about this kind of stuff. Bulldogs, while lovely dogs, should not be continued in their current form. Been in veterinary medicine for nearly a decade. They are not healthy dogs, and continuing to breed them without stringent efforts to outcross and improve their respiratory function is cruel. Owning them and not providing lifelong care for their respiratory, eye, skin, teeth, joint, or ear problems, regardless of how many thousands it will cost, is negligent. Refusing to acknowledge that if you have a bulldog, it 100% has some degree of respiratory compromise, is stupid and naive. I've seen too many bulldogs die after minor issues that a healthy dog would cope with, no problem. I don't hate their natures, they're sweet dogs, but what we have turned them into is monstrous. Don't lie. There is no worse feeling than finding out that someone you care about has lied to you. It completely ruins the relationship for me, because trust, which is vital, becomes compromised. I've had exes lie to me about trivial things, but I could never completely trust them after that. Power seats in cars piss me off. It takes the same amount of effort and like a tenth of the amount of time to adjust a manually adjusted seat. I have an absolute hatred for the people that think they are special and can park in the fire lane, road right across from the huge parking lot at Walmarts and other random businesses. You're not a vegetarian if you eat fish. You're a pescatarian. I strongly disagree with senior discount prices. I always have. I'm old now and qualify for senior discounts, but always refuse on principle. Give the discount to a poor person, not an old one. If you believe in some sort of new age thing or pseudoscience like astrology or homeopathy, deep down I will think less of you, no matter if you have a PhD, are the vice head of the department, or sponsored my grant. /r/suspiciously specific. Leaving a shopping cart out in the lot, outside the cart corral, is no big deal so long as you're reasonably sure it's not going to block traffic or roll into someone's car. Stick one of the wheels in a crack or pothole so it doesn't roll off and you're fine. The whole "you gotta put the cart away" notion is just big grocery trying to guilt you into providing a service that they themselves used to provide back when clerks would insist on carrying your groceries to your car and loading them up. When they did that, the clerks would return the cart, and any stray carts, to the store. Just because the supermarket is no longer paying a clerk, or as many of them, to round up carts doesn't mean that I as the customer will assume that task. To hell with them. They just made me unload, bag, load, carry out and reload the groceries. Sometimes I even have to do the scanning. I'll be damned if I'll also then schlep the empty cart with the fucked up wheel around the pothole-strewn parking lot to place it in a proper store-sanctioned location. It's the store's goddamn cart and it's on their lot. Fuck him. They can just hire adequate staff to wrangle carts if it's that important. It's not like I got a big rebate check from any of these chains when they cut back all the services over the last 30 years. I sure as shit am not going to give them my cart service for free. Don't send one-part text messages like "Hey, how are you doing, can you talk?" before you ask me to do something. Just send one fucking message with what you want me to do. There is nothing more annoying than being in a conversation or in class and getting a million dings from your phone. Also, just ask me what you want to do for you, stop wasting both our time. People aren't born stupid, they are taught to be stupid. They are manipulated later in life and also have trauma later in life. Small example, people who are anti-mask or anti-vaccine probably grew up with parents that didn't give them enough attention as a kid. They also may have had parents that were conspiracy theorists, of course. I think if a fetus is known to produce a person with a permanent debilitating condition, it should be euthanized. It is cruel and disgusting to bring a creature into this world that will do nothing but suffer its entire life. That is no existence worth living. Sometimes this must be done for the greater good, and it is selfish and illogical to choose to let someone like this be born because of emotional reasons. That parents shouldn't expect respect from their kids or stepkids if they don't give them as well or treat them like shit. This started when my stepdad keeps demanding respect from me yet he doesn't do the same to me. Being an adult or parent doesn't mean you deserve 100% of your kids' respect.
With